today. From Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Tennessee Titans taking on the Arizona Cardinals.
Just off the east bank of the Cumberland River and across the water from the Tennessee State Capitol building, there's a look at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Now a play fake here on first down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 22. A big hitter to start the drive, has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Moore. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Moore. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Good yardage there on the scramble, and all of a sudden they're left with a 3rd and 2. Much more manageable. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You look at this Arizona defense. We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into Week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that #1 spot.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Well, that's 2 sacks in this game, so add that to the 4 from last week. I think that's 6.
Good math. Excellent math. And look, he's going to get all the attention. He deserves it. He got home and got the quarterback on the ground. But that's a concentrated team effort because you got a lot of guys who occupy blockers to allow him access to rush the passer.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely perfect start to the year, but... the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for James Conner. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. A check on the numbers last week for Conner. 12 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
Nice solid showing from him last week. Didn't blow the roof off with his numbers, but certainly had a quality day and produced when called upon.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run forward with Conner. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6. The Cardinals at 1-0 on the year following the win in week 1. And they were able to take care of business in front of the home crowd last week.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that opener at home, but now things get a little bit tougher. The good thing for them, though, is they take a little extra confidence with them when they head out on the road.
He'll find his man. That's the rookie from Notre Dame. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 19 there as the drive marches forward.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. A give up the middle with Benson. And he's got some space here. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
On 2nd down, a run with Benson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey Benson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone. I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass. Let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off the play fake. Ward. He's got his man on the crossing route. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Cards, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cards will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. A short one here caught by McBride. And they're going to speed things up here. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 1st down, it's Benson. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Trey Benson. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A short one here, caught by McBride. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
You look at this Arizona defense. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Pollard going to try the right side. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Back to throw. Moore. That is caught. And he will have a Titans first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, #1, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Moore. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Hand off to Spears. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tajay Spears, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
And this is going to be a Cardinals first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Dancing to his left. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Titans. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball. When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
To throw is Ward. To throw on 2nd down. Short completion, just 4 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Ward. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time.
Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Titans. Tony Pollard, 31 yards. And the Titans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been and nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Back to throw here. A short one here, caught by McBride. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down. They run behind center with Connor. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. They run over center with Benson. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. That is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Cardinals. Trey McBride from 13 yards out. And the Cardinals have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season. And a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now up to 14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They toss it down to Pollard. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. To throw on 3rd down. Moore. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. Found good room to run there. Returns at 14 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Cardinals to take over. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start on the ground with Benson. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory.
91 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Back to throw.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
Past the 20. A huge play there for Arizona. 42 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
He'll drop to throw. Touchdown! From 3 yards out.
And the Cardinals take a 3-touchdown lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Ward looking to throw on 2nd down. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all. And I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Titans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Now 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Ward. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Mack Wilson showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Third down and 13.
Looking to throw. Ward. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit him over the top, unsuccessfully.
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line.
The Cardinal offense takes back over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
On the give, it's Benson. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 104 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Here's 3rd and 3.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Wilson snags it left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 14 yards that time for number 14. He'll look to throw. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's McBride. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. DJ Dallas. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Cards are able to widen their lead here in this first half. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it into play before with the smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Extra point forthcoming. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Pollard again.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Here now, a 3rd down and 8.
Back to throw. Ward. Being chased out left. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here that's complete. And this will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Looking to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
That's to McBride, and he has it. Touchdown, Cardinals.
A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Cardinals have taken a 5-touchdown lead. So the numbers are starting to pile up here early on. We have yet to reach halftime, yet that is already now 4 touchdown passes.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. And that is caught. It's Ridley. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Ward on 1st down.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Back to throw again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. The defense stiffens to force fourth down following that first down gain of 8. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield.
Well, obviously they never want to see penalties on that defense. But this one, a little bit more significant there on the downfield pass play.
And coaches preach it all the time. You can't put yourself in that kind of position if you're the defender. You've got to stay in a spot far downfield where you can play the ball without creating extra contact.
And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. This is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Cardinals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
Four seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan. Halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get things started in the Meadowlands. An AFC battle as Houston is in town to take on New York. And it's the Texans who's got the lead in the second quarter. Christian Kirk, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down the turnpike to see what's happening with the Eagles at home in Philadelphia. And they trail the visiting Chiefs in that one. Patrick Mahomes looking good. 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Josh Downs, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. The former Florida State man, Trey Benson, had it going in the first half. He's over 100 yards rushing for the game already and found the end zone twice as well.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. A give up the middle with Benson. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 110 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Here now, 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. A short one here, caught by McBride.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's across midfield and finally brought down at the 43. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd down, a run with Benson. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That good for 19 and a first down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Now it's 2nd and 10. A handoff here to Benson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
They'll look to throw here. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. They'll drop to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They go back to Pollard on second down.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Ward now to throw on third down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again.
He's got room at the 30. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Titans.
A big play there. 55 yards.
And the Titans are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit.
Extra point right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Pollard will take it up the gut.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down. Moore.
Down inside the 10.
And it's a Titans touchdown. A great play there. With now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And the Titans are able to claw one back.
The point after is good. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over.
Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Sebastian Joseph Day
picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They're going to try and throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down.
Here's Dallas. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Usually the big fella is a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on first down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. DJ Dallas with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Cardinals continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you. No question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Titans now just about ready to take over. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
A give to Pollard running left.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Going to run again here with Pollard. And this play a lot like the previous one, thanks to that stout Cardinal defense. Back-to-back, they've been tackled behind the line. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's 4th. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run for it with Pollard, and he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back.
Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
The drive will begin with a run by Benson. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 159 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous. All day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And they'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Brissett. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and run for it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 4th and inches in plus territory. That seemed like a prime spot to go for it.
It certainly did, and there's so many things that go into it. Are you too far away for a field goal? But not far away to punt it? Do you just feel like your offense is better? I just think in today's NFL, offense feels like it has to take care of the football, has to keep the ball, because scoring is up. You better maximize every possession. You trust your offense more than you trust your defense in today's league.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. The 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals are on their way to a 2-0 start. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. And the Titans getting set to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw again. Ward. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
That'll be complete to Okonkwo. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Ward firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His big day receiving just keeps getting bigger. He's over 200 yards now on the afternoon. Now Ward. Throwing on first down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw. Ward. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun. Ward. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Ward. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his third.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but, I mean, they are deserving as they start another series. To be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the fourth, Charles, it's really, really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
A strong running. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Facing second and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. To throw, Brissett. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments. And
touchdown!
Michael Wilson
from 8 yards out.
And the Cardinals had 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the fourth. So add another one into the touchdown column. What a game. That is now 6 touchdown passes for him so far in this one.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it winds up at a touchdown for Arizona. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. Tennessee offense set to go again. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Moore. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Moore. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 46. Looking to throw. Moore. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Moore. And that's complete to Cooks. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Operating from the gun. Moore. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
This 2nd and 4.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
It'll be an Arizona 1st down on a gain of 17. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Now the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown reception from Trey McBride. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Out come the Titans now. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Ward. And his throw here's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
To throw is Ward. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Cards, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Nashville.